Hello YouTube, and thank you for tuning in. Welcome to day number 2 of my 90-day video a day challenge. Yeah. Anyways, so today I'm going to do something completely different that I've never done before. And this is going to be talking about a book that I think might be a little undervalued, that I think you can still find in the wild in comic book shops or online retailers or whatever, that I think would just be good to add to your collection. I'm not a big speculator. I'm not into that. Most of those people that do the speculation stuff are very short-term holders and resellers and stuff like that, and they go to their comic book shop like Wednesday the 2nd it opens and buy out all the copies of something that they think is going to be a big hit and then put them on eBay and whatever. That's what they do. I'm not and I'm definitely not disrespecting that or saying it's stupid or anything like that. That's fine if that's what they want to do. I know a lot of them make good money off doing that. That's just not what I do. But I do collect a lot of books. I show you guys my books every week, that I pick up from the store. The stuff I grab off eBay and Midtown and other retailers and stuff like that, Atomic Avenue, whatever. And I don't buy any of those books to resell. I hold multiple copies of things. I have a vast, a pretty big collection of comic books that I collect for my own personal interest. Now, that's not to say, that one day down the road, whenever I, hopefully open my comic book shop, in the future in like the next 10 to 12 years or whatever it is, that I might not sell through some of the books that I have and maintain like a much smaller collection. But, I guess the point of this being, I'm just letting you know that I'm not saying buy this book and throw it up on eBay right now and it's going to make you $100. That's not the case at all. That's not going to happen. I'm also not saying, go buy 100 copies of this book and hold on to it for 20 years because I don't know what that would do. I'm just saying I think it's a little undervalued right now, and I think that, it's definitely something that will be used in the future. Maybe even, spread out to other properties. Maybe whatever. I just feel like it's a good book to go get. If you can find one in a dollar bin, 50-cent bin, even for cover price, I think it's a great deal. This is a book that some shops might have up on a, like in a premium area for $10 to $20. I have seen it as high as $40 some places. I definitely wouldn't pay that for it. I wouldn't pay more than cover price, but that's up to you and how you collect and what you do with that. And again, I'm talking completely raw here. I'm not talking about graded copies. I'm not talking about going on eBay and paying a high premium for it. So without any further explanation, let me get into the actual book. And this is clearly not a review either. So I'm not gonna go through a whole lot of history. I'm not gonna do a review. I'm just gonna talk about the book at hand, where I think it is right now, and where I think it has the possibility of going, and why I think that you should grab a copy or two and hang on to them. That's all. So the book is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1. This came out, I think it was January 2016. I know it was 2016, but I don't remember the month. But that makes it about 2.5 years old, I guess, right? I don't know, I can't do math. But either way, it's over 2 years old. I know that because we're in 2018. So it's not an old book. It's not too far into its run. I think, maybe we're at like number 30 or something, 32 at the most. But I do pick up this book every month that it comes out. It is I guess you could call it a kid's book. I mean, it's pretty much a kid's book. It's for kids. It's a little girl. You know, comics like, have that especially the big two. Marvel and DC have that like fine line, where comics are like, they are kids books in a sense. I don't know. That's hard to say. They're not for kids, and I understand that. But, especially Marvel does have, a few things out there that are more for younger readers than not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I don't imply anything weird. But either way, this is just a fun book. It's good. I know a lot of people will diss this book and say, "Oh, that sounds stupid. It's a little girl. It's, too much diversity, blah, 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 whatever." I get it. I get, if that's what you think and those are your thoughts, and that's fine. You can think what you want. But if you actually bought this book, cracked it open and read it, it's a very fun story. There's a lot of depth in this character. It's written well. And yeah, it's written for kids, but an adult can definitely enjoy it. So either way, that's pretty much all I'll try to say about the book, because again, it's not like a review or anything, but just, that's kind of like the backstory on it. So we're just a little over 2 years old on this book. If you go on eBay and look at the completed sales, like on the high end, we're like at like, close to $30. So I would say like a good average is like around 10, maybe a little lower. So it's definitely accessible. Again, I'm not suggesting that you go on eBay and pay those prices, because I don't know if that's going to pay off for you in the long run. But definitely if you're at a shop and this is in the back issue bins and it's for cover price or less, I would grab a copy or two. I have a few copies of this book. I think I have around 5 or 6. I picked up another one yesterday. This is the copy that I picked up yesterday because I was in a shop wasting some time before I went somewhere, and it just happened to be sitting there for less than cover, and I was like, well, I know I'm going to take that. I'm a cheerleader for this book. Like, I'm not going on eBay and putting it up there, so I'm not trying to, hype it and then flood the market or anything like that. I'm not one of those people. But I'm just saying, I believe it's undervalued. I believe that these characters, will be utilized. Devil Dinosaur has, as like a, whatever D-list character in the Marvel Universe, has, some history. Jack Kirby, creation from the, 70s, I guess. And, that was like a low-selling but interesting book. I guess, don't quote me on that. I don't know how the sales were on that. I feel like it was very, much lower compared to like superhero books and stuff like that. But that would be, I don't know. But either way, so Devil Dinosaur has some history there. Definitely some name recognition and stuff. And this is a new character. Moon Girl. She's a new character. She's not like how you would think, like, America Chavez, like, to me that was just too much, like, all in one. And I know they're still moving forward with that character. I know, America's and other stuff. She's going to be in West Coast Avengers and all that, and that's cool. But to me, that character just seemed to be a little too much. Now what they've done with Moon Girl here is, like, she's like an Inhuman type of thing. She isn't Inhuman, but she's a little girl. She's in grade school. She's a minority. She's an African American girl. And how she's explained is she's on the autism spectrum somewhere. She's very intelligent. Amadeus Cho calls her the smartest person in the universe or world or whatever. But she's very, very smart, and she's like an inventor. I know, if you read some stuff, that Amy Reeder put out there, who was one of the creators, like, she's a Inspector Gadget type of character, but not as, like, goofy. Like, she creates these little things, and they work in her favor. I just truly feel like there's a lot of depth with this character. It's written very well, and I feel like it would be very easy for her to slide in, you know, a good like team role or something. I feel like something will become of this character, you know, moving forward at some point. Clearly, she's in her own title and she's doing pretty well, and she's very popular with. I don't know what you call that market, but like when they make like scholastic books and stuff like that, like those books, not maybe like individual like, you know, comic book issue sales, but like other places. She's very popular. So she's popular with kids, which if you think about that, you know, you have kids 6, 7, 8 years old, who are buying scholastic books with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur on them, and then, you know, give those kids 5, 10 years, they grow up a little bit, they become teenagers, they become young adults. You know, what happens with that? Like, you know, you could say the same thing from, you know, like my generation when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. You know, I was watching Ninja Turtles, I was watching Thundercats, Masters of the Universe, Transformers, you know, those things, and then, you know, I obviously am really into new content and you know, new creations and stuff like that, and I eat all that stuff up. But what do you like ultimately go back to? You know, the stuff that really had a big impact on you when you were a kid. You know, I always go back to Spider-Man. Like, I always want to read Spider-Man. Like, I have a thing for Spider-Man because I was such a huge, you know, that was a big part of my childhood. Same thing. I cannot walk by a Masters of the Universe book without picking it up, no matter if I have like 10 copies of it already, just because it has like such a, you know, strong hold on me, you know, from my childhood and stuff. So either way, sorry, we're at 12 minutes and this was meant to just be a little quick video. But yes, I suggest going out and seeking out a copy of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1 if you don't have one. Again, try to get it for cover or less. And there's plenty of them out there, and that should be very achievable. But I do suggest finding a copy of this book and just holding it and seeing what happens. It definitely won't hurt. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know what you guys thought about this new... I don't know what to call these things. Anyways, you know, I'm trying out different things with my 90-day challenge. So this was more of a, I think this book is undervalued and I think you should grab a copy. I don't know what I'll call it. I'll figure it out in the title, and you guys can let me know if the title sucks or not. If you have any suggestions for a better, you know, name for what I'm doing here or anything like that, I will gladly take suggestions. But either way, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for still being a part of my 90-day challenge. I know it's only day 2, and hopefully I'm not annoying you too much. But thank you so much, and have a good one.